Yeah, thank you everyone for joining. Welcome to the webinar with RBS Intellect. And we have Massey University today. So the idea of the webinar is to see the options of study in New Zealand with Massey University. And the focus area for the webinar is for a school of built environment, which is primarily the faculty where construction programs are offered. Now, I'll go around. So for today's panelists, we have good 4 people, and we have 2 people who have not been able to join. Myself, my name is Bharat Chawla. I'm a director of RBS, but working in the education sector for nearly 2 decades now, trying to make sure that we do good work and we support every student who comes to New Zealand. We have, I'll ask every panelist to talk about themselves. So over to you, Professor Asim. Just a short 30-second about you and a brief to everyone.
You want me to say it?
Yeah, 30 seconds, yes.
Okay. My name is Naseem. I'm an associate professor at Massey University. My background is in quantity surveying, but I've since specialized in construction law, and I teach on the bachelor's and master's degree program at Massey University. I've been there since 2010, 21st of June, 2010 to be specific.
Thank you. Thank you, Professor Naseem. Over to you, Mike.
My name is Mike Hakes, and I'm the Senior Manager for Global Engagement and Partnerships at Massey University and Massey University College, which is the longest job title in the world. I've been at Massey for about 10 years, and before 2023, I used to manage the IELTS test center at Massey. So I'm very happy to answer any IELTS questions from anybody. But now I look after recruitment of international students that comes through agents like RBS Intellect.
Thank you. Thank you, Mike. Over to you, Shiraz.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. I'm Shiraz, and I'm the business development lead for RBS Intellect. Prior to this, I was an immigration officer with Immigration New Zealand and Mumbai office for almost 10 years. That's a short brief about me.
Thank you. I think, and again, I can introduce the other 2 people who were supposed to join, not join. We have Dr. Ruggiero, who was supposed to join. He's been traveling to China. And same, we have Anush, who's a licensed immigration advisor. He's not able to join. He's traveling to India. But we will be trying to cover all the answers to be answered by Dr. Ruggiero or Anush. Now, I will recommend everyone, whoever have questions, please put your questions in a Q&A box. Don't raise the hand, it will not help. But asking more questions, it will be helping us to answer in the later, as per these kind of number structure serial. Now, I'll go around and do a bit of brief about New Zealand. So guys, New Zealand, we are an island nation. We are one of the OECD country, the country which is kind of one of the excellent education in overall, rankings. We have 8 universities in total. Massey University is one of that, and all the universities are in top 500. Now, technically, why it is important? It's a small country, it's a small destination, but it's a very safe and peaceful destination. New Zealand has been ranked globally always in top 5 or top 10 to be a safest country to come and study and work here. And it's also a breeding ground for a lot of innovation. So we have a lot of innovation happening. And if I just complete, there are a lot of work which is happening towards even, say, fintech, or we take out technological advancements. A lot have been done in New Zealand. But the only thing happened is that in New Zealand is a breeding ground, but then it goes to the US or all other big Asian countries or European countries who normally venture it out. On terms of side, New Zealand do provide a lot of post-study work options. We will talk about it in the last slide. And again, there are opportunities for people to take a pathway towards the residence option also. So it's again, it's a full package options for everyone. New Zealand have been the last country to open the borders after COVID pandemic. We opened the borders in August 2022. In last 1 year, New Zealand is still coming near to the pre-pandemic level. We used to get around 34,000 students globally everywhere. Now, going around quality of life, yes, again, it's something which you see here in the picture. It's a paradise. So it's a good time to study, but at the same time enjoy the scenic beauty of New Zealand. There are a lot of opportunities for everyone. You're not getting visa for 1 city or 2 cities. You're getting visa for complete New Zealand. Simple as that. I'll go fast. We don't want to spend time. We want to give it a lot of time to the faculty to go in. So just giving a bit of brief, New Zealand, where we are stay on the eastern side of Australia. We are 2 to 4 hours in the time zone difference with Australia. Some ways we can have 6 hours technically, but this is a flight of 4 to 8 hours, depending when you're going to Melbourne, Sydney, or you're going to Perth. but overall New Zealand, the two major islands, which is North and South Island, if you see here. And then we have a Stewart Island, which is the third major island, but though there are a lot of islands in New Zealand, but overall, the population size, we are similar population size of UK, which is around 5.5 million, but the land, sorry, not population size, but the land size, but the population size is actually 10 times less than UK. So it's a lot of place, a lot of things to go in. Just to add here is that for everyone who know that there are some direct flights from some Asian countries, but from India, there is no direct flight from India to New Zealand. There is a stopover through Singapore, Hong Kong, or Thailand, or Malaysia. You to come in. So technically, it's a good destination. But if you see, we are very close to US to go around, and that's where I was trying to go in. Now, these are the 8 universities I just want to mention, and we're covering Massey today. Massey have 3 campuses, which is in Wellington, Palmerston North, and Auckland. But I believe Mike will talk about more on that. I'll try to just make sure that I give a lot of time to Mike and Professor Naseem. Now, whoever is new and whoever don't know about New Zealand education, New Zealand offers courses similar to a lot of Commonwealth education system. We have levels, we call it level 1 to level 10. We will talk about more about level 7 today, which is a bachelor's qualification. And we'll talk about level 10, which is, level 9, which is a master's qualification. Then if you go around to level 10, which is a PhD or a doctoral degree, and below level 7, there are diplomas or certificate or associate qualifications. Now there's a level 8, which is a postgraduate diploma or postgraduate certificates. Now these are the pathways or bridging options to masters, from bachelor's to master's. Now there are opportunities for everyone, guys. Just make sure that if you have questions, please put into the Q&A box. I know you're raising the hand. Raising hand will not help me because I'll be not able to. So we'll try to answer as much we can. So giving around Massey University, here you go. I think I'll give it to Mike now to start in. Mike, over to you. Mike will talk about Massey University.
Thank you. Well, my first couple of slides we've already kind of covered a little bit. First, most important thing is, where is New Zealand? Because you would not be alone if you didn't know exactly where we were. But as already been said, we are located near Australia. We're not Australia, very important. And we're made up of multiple islands. And in the map on the slide, I've highlighted Auckland, Palmerston North, and Wellington, which has been said are the 3 main campuses for Massey University. But we're mostly going to be talking about programs that are based in the Auckland campus today. Can you pop onto the next slide for me? Brilliant. I'll just skip over a little bit of this because we've already talked about it. But what's really important is New Zealand is famous for sheep, cows, beautiful scenery, and Lord of the Rings. And to a certain extent, that's fair. We have beautiful scenery. Agriculture is a major part of our economy. We export enough food for 95 million people from a population of 5 million. And yet Lord of the Rings was filmed here. A lot of movies are filmed here. But there's a lot more to New Zealand than just those things. And if we pop onto the next slide, I'll run through a few of those bits and pieces for you. New Zealand is a fantastic place to study and a wonderful place to live. We're ranked #1 in the English-speaking country at preparing students for the future. We're the 2nd most peaceful country in the world. In terms of your future career and your lifestyle, we're the 8th most prosperous country in the world. And not many people know this, but we are ranked 4th in the world for gender equality. We were the first country in the world to give women the vote. And whoever you are, whatever your background is, New Zealand is very accepting and is a very equal, fair, and multicultural society. Everybody who's a panelist on this call, I'm guessing, is an immigrant, including me. Immigration is a massive part of New Zealand society and New Zealand culture, and international students are a huge part of that. So I've got a video now. Hopefully it will play okay. When I started in this role at the beginning of the year, the marketing team said to me, what can we make for you? And I said, everybody knows New Zealand is beautiful. I want something that shows New Zealand is a modern, world-class destination in terms of cities and city life. So this is a video all about Auckland, which is where our Massey University Auckland campus is based.
Now, if you can't hear, let me know. Can you hear?
No, we can't, but that's all right. It's just some nice music playing. So Auckland is regularly ranked the best city to live in the world. It's the only major city in New Zealand, really, about 1.5 million people. Very, very spread out, lots and lots of green spaces, beautiful beaches, some of the best beaches, city beaches in the world, incredibly multicultural. 50% of the population was born overseas. New Zealand generally is a pretty welcoming and multicultural society. It's one of the reasons I stayed here so long. I came myself to New Zealand 15 years ago for 6 months, and I never went back. It is a wonderful country to live in. If you have a family, it is one of the best places in the world to raise children. And in terms of standard of living, quality of life, it is a wonderful, wonderful place.
Sorry, Mike, I believe I think the sounds are coming to me and not to everyone. Is that correct?
That's right. I'm talking over the top of it, so don't worry. And as you can see, Auckland is a world-class city with world-class restaurants, shopping. It's something that a lot of students worry about. They say, you know, can I get Starbucks? Do you have Pizza Hut? We have all of that stuff. And some things you've never heard of, some experiences you've maybe never tried. And a lot of people, I think, when they arrive in New Zealand are quite surprised by how modern and how metropolitan the country is. I mean, I know I was. And it's a fantastic city where you can be in the middle of the mall in one moment, and then in 10-15 minutes time you're in the middle of a beautiful beach with trees and waves and sunshine. So it's a wonderful, wonderful place to live.
I agree with that, and again I did try to manage to make sure we get the audio right, but
that's all right. It's not a proper webinar without a few technical hitches. So I've already covered quite a few of these things. So Auckland's the commercial and business hub of the country, and our campus for Massey University is located north of the CBD on the North Shore, which is one of the fastest growing areas of the country. And Albany, the suburb where we are, is home to a lot of New Zealand's most innovative tech companies, a lot of startups. One of the things students worry about is, well, you're not in the CBD. So what about shops? What about part-time jobs? We are actually literally across the road from one of the largest malls in the country. So you've got all the shopping facilities, all the restaurants and cafes you'll need. Also, lots of part-time work opportunities available, and there's no competition. In the CBD, there are multiple universities, lots of students competing for part-time work. On the North Shore, there is only Massey, so you don't have all that competition when it comes to looking for jobs. And our campus in Auckland is focused particularly on business, construction, and information sciences. And today, we're going to be talking about construction.
Great. Guys, just want to tell people who are raising hand, please do add your questions in the Q&A box. It will be helpful. We'll be covering a lot of those questions after the presentation of Professor Naseem.
I'll just run through this slide very quickly because I've started adding this in recently. I think international education is an investment, and students like yourselves are making a very informed, educated choice about what is best for their future and for their family, not just based on academics, but also on job opportunities and potential opportunities for relocation. New Zealand is fantastic in that regard. We are a wealthy country with a high GDP. A lot of what we do is based on trade. New Zealand is a great place to work. However, historically, about a quarter of New Zealand's skilled workers move overseas. And as we said, we are a small country down the bottom of the world. Many people want to go overseas for a few years and try something different, which means we have very high employment. Unemployment's only about 3.5%. And then if you can just click one more time for me there, this means that we have careers with a lot of employee shortages, and immigration of skilled professionals and international students is a huge part of New Zealand society. And the programs we're going to talk to you today are part of that brain drain where there is significant demand. I won't talk a huge amount about numbers because every university loves to do that. I'm just going to say two ones. One is 82%, which is the percentage of our graduates in full or part-time employment after graduating. That is key. That is why students look to study at university. You want to know there's a job at the end of it for you. The second one is our top 200 ranking in architecture, which covers the School of Built Environment that we're going to be talking about today. We don't even have an architecture degree, and yet we rank in the top 200 in the world because of the strength of the programs that Professor Naseem and his colleagues teach. Sorry, I will run through very quickly. We also have other programs other than construction. So we have a wide range of everything from Master in Management to Food Technology to Foundation Pathways. And then my final slide. I know a lot of you will be asking about entry requirements. So I have a slide finally about what the entry requirements are for the construction programs. So for bachelor's degree, you're looking at IELTS 6.0 requirement, or that can be PTE or TOEFL or whatever English test, but the IELTS 6 equivalent. And then I've put in a lot of the entry requirements for basically the countries where RBS Intellect has a presence. So if you're from one of those countries, hopefully you can see what your entry requirements would be. For some of those countries, the entry requirement is 1 year's tertiary education. We also have pathway routes for students who don't meet that requirement, so don't worry too much about that. And then I've got the requirements in there for Master of Construction as well. IELTS requirement is a little bit higher, 6.5 overall, and there's quite a few different options for entry requirements for the Masters of Construction. That is
Thank you, Mike.
Far too much from me. Oh, last one, most important one, scholarships. Obviously, everybody asked about scholarships. We have two sorts. We have a wide range of scholarships where you apply for them separately. They're all on the website. Get on there and apply for as many as you think are relevant. We also, for 2024, have our new Toroa International Fee Scholarships for undergraduate and postgraduate students. These will be offered to students automatically who meet the requirements. And those requirements are GPA B or higher and to pay their fees before the deadline. They're first come, first served. Unfortunately for postgraduate, for February, we have now given away all the scholarships. But for bachelors, we still have scholarships available for students who pay their fees before the 12th of January. And then for our second intake in July, we will have a whole new load of scholarships as well. So if you're thinking about postgraduate, perhaps July, there's a scholarship on offer there for you.
So great. I said for everyone, guys, do ask your questions. And again, there is a lot of options. Again, we will make sure that we have options for our July intake also. Now I'll go to presentation of Professor Naseem, and let me know if you can't see that because I'll be jumping to another slide. Can you? No, I believe we just sharing another screen. Yep. Can you see the new slide?
Yep.
I'll just try to jump in. Can you see the next slide? Is that correct?
Nope.
Okay. So yeah. So this is there you go. I believe people can see the slides. Is that okay?
No, still the first slide.
So we are coming here. Here you go. Is that correct?
Now we've got the first slide. If you can show the second one. Yeah. Okay, good. So go back to the first slide.
Yeah, sure. Just give me a minute. I think.
Right. No. That's the next one. You've got the two slides before. Right. Okay. Right, folks, my name is Naseem. As I said earlier, I was working in industry for 20 years. And for my sins, the next 13 years or the past 13 years, I'm now lecturing at Massey, only because I'm passionate about teaching. Anyway, we've got construction qualifications at Massey University, and I've been looking at the questions. Some of you have been asking about structural engineering and so on. We do not have structural engineering or civil engineering. What we have is construction. At bachelor's degree level, we've got two specializations in quantity surveying and in construction management. And then the masters, I'll come to masters in a minute. But a key reason why someone would want to do a bachelor's qualification is because it's a degree, yes, but the degree doesn't make you a professional. Just keep going back to the previous slide.
I can simply say that there's a bit of, looks like a technical movement happening, but
otherwise I can share the slides. Yep.
Yeah,
no,
I think, yeah, I can see there is some technical movement. Slide sharing. I'll just stop share and
I'll share my screen. Yep.
Yep. If you can.
Okay. Right. You should be able to see my slide now. So there you go. So coming back then. So the degrees that we offer at bachelor's level are specializations in quantity surveying and in construction management. Those are the two that we offer. We don't offer engineering. We've also got postgraduate diploma in construction. And amongst the specializations that we have include the 5 specialization: quantity surveying, construction project management, construction law, digital built environment, and sustainable built environment. These are the 5 specializations that we have. We also have a diploma in facilities management and graduate cert in science and technology and lighting. And of course, we've got PhD in construction. Just for the record, we've got about 60 PhD students. I know some of you have already got a master's and you asked some questions. One of you from Nepal, for instance. One of my PhD students, he's about 27, 28 years old. He's from Nepal. His name is Ayush Puri. At some point, if you want to connect with him and ask him about living in New Zealand, I'm happy to connect you to him. Now, let's have a look at what's next. Now, so when you do a degree, I think a critically important thing is a degree is a degree. Getting a master's doesn't make you a professional. Getting a PhD doesn't make you a professional. But what our bachelor's degree does is, once you've got a degree, you can then move on to become what we call become a professional. And our degree is accredited by the Chartered Institute of Building, the largest construction management professional body in the world. We're also accredited by the Royal Institution of Chartered Surveyors, the largest property profession in the world. You get the title Chartered Quantity Surveyor if you do our degree and then you work for a few years and you get accredited by the Royal Institution of Chartered Surveyors. With the CIOB, you get Chartered Construction Manager. I'm both a Chartered Construction Manager and a Chartered Quantity Surveyor. Our degree is, of course, recognized by the New Zealand Institute of Quantity Surveyors as well, which is a national body in New Zealand. But once you look internationally, you have to look at RICS and CIOB. Our degree is also accredited by the Pacific Association of Quantity Surveyors, which is an amalgamation of number of national bodies, including New Zealand, Australia, Hong Kong, China, Japan, Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, Sri Lanka, South Africa, Canada. Look, I can go on, but you get the gist, right? There are many countries in the Pacific Associations of Quantity Surveyors. And we also, our honours degree and our master's degree is also accredited by the Australian Institute of Building, just in case you decide, you want to earn a little bit more money in Australia and you don't mind the snakes and the poisonous scorpions and the spiders and so on. You want to go to Australia, you can. Our degree is also accredited by the Australian Institute of Building. Now, so what is it that our graduates do? When they study, they would have to study the financial side of construction. They have to study the legal side of construction. They have to study management of construction projects. They have to understand technology, of course. Otherwise, how are you going to work out the cost? You study health and safety aspects, the quality control, the logistics, the programming, and sustainable practices, which is a current trendy thing. We've got COP at the moment in the world. So if I were to summarize that, what is it that our bachelor's degree students would do? 4 things, really. Technology. They have to understand technology. That's the first thing, T for technology. Second, every construction project in the world would have to have a contract between the builder and the client, or between the builder and a subcontractor and a supplier and so on. So we deal with the legal aspects of it, like the lawyers, but lawyers specialized in the construction project. And the third thing that we would do is the cost, the budget. Of course, you're a quantity surveyor. What do? You work out the cost of construction. So you understand the technology, the legal side of it, the cost. And then the construction manager, what do? They deal with managing the construction project. So, of course, they'll have to deal with the construction project. Somebody needs to manage it. We do not deal with actually building. That's for the tradesman. We deal with managing the project. So, TLCM. Another way of looking at it is, what do you get at Massey? Tender, loving care at Massey, or technology, law, cost, and management. Anyway, that's just one way for you to remember what is TLCM. Now, the other thing is, you do a degree, but that's just a degree. I said earlier, our degree leads towards professional qualification. I think that's critically important. It's not just a degree, it leads to professional qualifications. Now, this is not me saying it, but this is seek.co.nz is probably the widest body that gets you jobs. I mean, you just register with them and you'll see heaps of jobs being advertised. What did they say? Construction is among the sectors with the highest average advertised salary. That's not me. I'm just a quote from seek.co.nz. You may want to check out that website. Now, we need more than 50,000 construction professionals in the next 5 years. Again, not me saying it, but this is just data from the public domain. And of course, we have heard Auckland Council say we need 300,000 new homes in Auckland over the next 30 years. If one house costs 400,000, do the maths. 300,000 times 400,000 is 120 billion New Zealand dollars. That's only for residential houses in Auckland. We haven't talked about the bridge, the dams, or the railway, or the roads, or the refurbishment of earthquake proofing, and so on. And not surprisingly, the construction degree, as well as the quantity surveying degree, is on Immigration New Zealand's green list. Green list, I'm sure Mike will be able to explain a little bit more what the green list is. Okay, so to enter, what do you need? No, you don't need a very, very high level of mathematical skill. A reasonable knowledge of maths is what you need. Able to communicate in English. Mike already said what the IELTS requirements or the equivalent are. And of course, in New Zealand, if you're 20 years or older, you have a legal right, you have a statutory right to come on to our degree. Mike already highlighted, we are world ranked, top 3%, sometimes in some programs, 1% or whatever. 239th in the world, and our School of Built Environment is top 200 in the world. And we're the only, we're the largest dedicated School of Built Environment with nearly 30 staff from 18 different countries, ranging from Brazil to India to China to me from Malaysia, and from Sri Lanka, staff from the UK, staff from Italy, staff from Egypt, and so on. So a huge range of background of staff. Now, the other thing that unique about our program is you have to get 600 hours of industry experience as part of the degree requirement. Now, that means that by the time you graduate, compulsorily, you would have worked 600 hours in industry. So when you apply for a job, have you got any New Zealand experience? Yes, I did 600 hours, 300 chunks and another 300. Normally, you do that during the holidays and so on, where you are allowed to work full-time during the holidays, or you can work part-time and gather your 600 hours. So that's pretty useful. Apart from that, of course, we've got pastoral care through student mentoring system. We have a high emphasis on women in built environment. We have a construction society. We've got pastoral care. We've got regular networking event and MOUs with industry partners and so on. So lots of it. And what is this Toastmasters? It's just a public speaking club, which is subsidized if you're a Massey University student. So it's all good. And why the Auckland campus in Albany? We're happy to share with you. We'll leave it to Bharat to share it with you, to have these various links of various students from all around the world who had picked up some videos. I'm not going to play it with you now, but anyway, that's just a quick show. And if you can hear this, it's a short video clip, which maybe you couldn't hear it earlier. Just try.
We were able to hear some sound, but yeah, I think Dr. Hassan Naseem is pretty much, I think you've been given a very detailed one, and I can see that Mike and Shiraz and you are very quickly answering a lot of questions. I can see 42 questions have been answered, but guys, we'll be still debating a couple of things for people who have questions. But over to you, Professor Naseem.
Okay, if that's the case, let's move to the question answer session. But just a quick reminder, we are on LinkedIn. Feel free to follow us on LinkedIn. Over to you, Bharat, to lead the question and answer session.
Sure. I think before I go to Q&A, I just want to have a quick update to everyone, guys. Now, I believe some of the questions were there about the post-study work visa and all. So every student who is coming to New Zealand, they have multiple levels of post-study work rights. Now, this is a snippet from what Immigration New Zealand has mentioned. So if you're coming for a master's program, which is between 30 weeks to 60 weeks, which is 1 to 2 years, it can be 1, 1.5, and 2 years. You're eligible to get up to 3 years of post-study work right. When you're coming for a postgraduate diploma, level 8, you get 1 year post-study work right if you're doing a 1 year postgraduate qualification. If you're doing a bachelor's, which can be 1 year, 2 year, or 3 years, you can apply up to 3 years of post-study work option. Now, just remember that construction management is also in the green list. So whoever is not eligible at a bachelor's level, they can go for a level 6 construction, which is a 2 year, which can lead 1 to 2 year of post-study work right option. Now, technically, it's a 2 year, depend upon the qualification you're entering in. So this is for reference, guys. There are opportunities, there are options of staying back. And if you get a job offer, you can go towards your migration options, depend upon you read the criteria and you follow the immigration website.
Bharat, do you also want to just remind them about the PhD? Because I noticed some of them have got a master's. That if you're doing a PhD, you can work unlimited in New Zealand.
Yes.
Your spouse can work unlimited, and your children go to school free. You don't pay school fees. It's fees free. Yeah, that's also interesting because most
So
of my
that's,
PhD students are working.
yeah, that's pretty good. I think I'm sorry to missing it out. That so again for masters and PhD, the spouse get the full-time work, right, while they are studying, whereas kids get schooling between 5 to 17 or 18 for free. Which free means a domestic education, which is around $200 to $300 per year as a domestic donation cost. We can say it's a state school, not in the private school. Whereas you go to a PhD, the one benefit is that you can work full-time while you are doing your PhD. Whereas masters you can't work full-time while you're studying, but you are allowed to work full-time when you are in a term break or a Christmas holiday. So technically, that's some of the positive points when you go around to a master's or a PhD options. And again, we will be answering a lot of things on that side. But then, guys, we just want to make sure that this is a process. It is not that we have to get the visa separately lodged for a student or a spouse and a kids. So we just need to see we follow the process. Our team is there to help you out if you want one-to-one consultation to support you. I've just messaged the email ID also, but then we go to a Q&A now. So coming down to Q&A, and I'll start from Deepak, which he asked the question before the start of the webinar, which is pretty good. He said, I want to do a master's in structural engineering. I've completed bachelor's in civil engineering from Far East Western University with CGPA of 3.45. Now, Professor Naseem, we want to answer that question with the structural engineering part.
Okay, so he has done a structural engineering, and his question is whether he wants to do another master's or a PhD.
He have done a bachelor's in civil engineering, and he want to go for a master's in structural engineering, which I believe is not been offered. Yeah.
Okay, we don't offer structural engineering. What we have is a Master of Construction, specializing in construction project management, or quantity surveying, or construction law, or digital built environment, or sustainable built environment. Those are the specializations that we have. Yeah.
And again, I do remember that you are looking for structural engineering. There are options, but then do see the outcomes and job, because a lot of civil engineering options, what you're working, how you're working, your CVs will be great to analyze and support. There might be options. So again, I said, if you can share your CVs, we will come back to you what options are feasible for you, because just doing civil engineering and we don't assess your experience, it makes a bit challenging. Coming to Pragyan, if not right. I want to know information on PhD in civil engineering related subjects. So I believe this is the PhD option. Over to you, Professor Naseem.
Okay, the PhD option that we have, it's called PhD in Construction. And within that, what topic area you want to research as a PhD candidate, it's up to you. We've got a wide range of topic areas within the area, but the PhD is called PhD in Construction. Wide range of topic areas. Yep. And you can apply online with your topic. And
again, yeah, it'll be good, because a lot of time PhD has been, you have to get PhD through subjects to the supervisor and your mentor, and then yes, RBS can help you support the visa process if you need. I'm going to Abhinan Mahadev. Whether getting a professional accreditation for after master's in construction is easy. Over to you, Professor Naseem. I believe
getting professional accreditation. Look, you can get professional accreditation after a bachelor's degree, and you work maybe 2 or 3 years. You just with the work experience, you just go and do the interview and so on. Look, I was on the interview panel for the New Zealand Institute of Quantity Surveyors. So when you say easy, if you've got good enough experience, then there's no reason why you shouldn't. So you can either do it after masters or even bachelor's. Sure.
Agreed. And I think there's an anonymous attendee is asking a question about masters of health and well-being or health and well-being course. So see, we will answer you that this webinar is focused towards the construction, but again, there are multiple options how you want to answer. Now going to Jane, thank you, sir, for reply. I have heard about some courses get offered by some institution in adult teaching. Does it require a PhD for getting a job in my field? Now, I'll say that if it's adult teaching in terms of job after doing PhD in university, I think that is a separate scenario compared to if you're asking about getting a job as a lecturer, then it'll be a different answer. So it'll be I think if I say, Professor Naseem, to elaborate a question, somebody who have done a PhD, for them getting a position as a lecturer in university, how easy it is, or can they apply for multiple options in tertiary education?
So if they've already got a PhD, in terms of eligibility to work, I'll leave that the point system or whatever to be able to come in and get a job. But to get a job within New Zealand, there are only 8 universities. And in the area of built environment, there's only Massey University. And of course, in engineering, there are a bit more options. So we're a small country.
I'll just add to that. There are options in tertiary institute where there are polytechnics and there are private colleges.
Yes.
They do offer some diplomas in construction, and you can apply to that or limit in similar area. I'll go to Neeraj, Professor Naseem Ali, sir. I did my master's in environmental engineering with my thesis on sustainable concrete. Can you please connect me with Mr. Puri, as you mentioned before? Sure, Neeraj. We can. It'll be recommended. Please email your query. We can connect to in a proper fashion. It'll be helpful. Hi, this is Dharmin Desai. My wife has done engineering, but she's doing job in banks since last 20 years. Which course prefer for her doing job in New Zealand, and if it's available at Massey University? I think. What's the duration of the course?
This one, can I just say, look, I have come across people who have done economics or whatever, but in this case, done engineering, but work in the bank and so on. One way is do a master's. So you get to know the local climate and so on. The fee would be about 42,000 or so. I think Mike has got some figures on that, roughly about 42,000. You do 120 credit masters because you already got a bachelor's degree in engineering. And then once you finish, you'll get that, what Bharat mentioned about the eligibility to get work visa and so on.
Depending on which program you're studying for masters, it's between 41 and 44,000 for Master of Construction.
Roughly.
Thank you, Michael. Then, and Darwin, again, remember that you do see the options again, what your wife is looking in, because engineering and then doing 20 years job in bank, what she wanted to do. So there are options in Massey with business school also. Again, I'll be not saying that SV is not good, but there's a business school which is also, if not yet triple crown, but a double crown, which is a pretty good option also. And they offer multiple courses. Now going to live on Joseph, postgraduate diploma and really safe when compared to masters.
Okay, can I just respond to this?
Go ahead.
The postgraduate diploma and the master's, the courses are identical. The only difference is with the master's, you do a research project. With the postgraduate diploma, you just do the taught programs, the coursework. That's the only difference, really. So I wouldn't say it's safe or whatever, but it's the standards are similar. Okay.
I would also add that the benefit of doing the master's is that the post-study work rights are higher than if you're doing the postgraduate diploma. So if you're thinking about working in New Zealand for a period after you graduate, it's a difference between 1 year for postgraduate diploma and 3 years for masters. So if you want to get that work experience, masters is possibly a better choice.
And Mike, would you agree that it sounds sexier to have a master's than a postgraduate diploma?
Oh, definitely.
I believe yes. Yeah. So I can add on top of that, which is more of the residence pathway. You get more points for a master's compared to a postgraduate diploma. So you're getting 5 points for a skilled migrant category option compared to you get 4 points for postgraduate diploma. So again,
Bharat, I know some of them have gotten a master's. If they do a second master's, do they get more points or is still only 5?
I know it's the same point. So you can only claim points for one master's.
I've got 2 masters, so I don't get more points.
I can, yeah. So
you get bragging points, Professor Naseem.
I don't want bragging. I want more points. I want to be a resident.
Remember that you've done a PhD, so you're already having
okay,
so you go to a PhD, you get a 6 points. So this is one. So going to Monica, I want to ask that what are the living expenses and course fees that should need to maintain? So Monica, just to give you living expenses for 1 year is $20,000. It is then it's been predetermined by Immigration New Zealand. We can't change that. For every year, you have to show $20,000. And when you're coming with a family, there is a different requirement for your spouse and kids. Now, this is, so if it'll be when you show for the visa, you have to show tuition fees plus the living expenses, which is example is $42,000 plus $20,000, $62,000 for 1 year. And then if you're planning for 2 to 3 years course, then it can be a liquid, say planning can be shown. So again, our team are well equipped to answer those questions. And again, we're happy to support you on that.
Bharat, can I just interject there? The 42,000, Mike said about 40 to 44,000 or so is for the taught program. Masters or bachelors, typically that's a fee. But for PhD, our PhD is about $8,000 or $9,000 per year. That's probably one of the
Agreed.
cheapest in the world in developed
It is the
countries.
cheapest in the world, Professor.
Oh,
So
is it?
for
Okay.
New
So it's
Zealand PhDs are cheapest in the world.
$9,000, not 40,000. 9,000 per year for PhD. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that just
and
shows
it'll
you how important this research and educated, skilled students and professionals are for New Zealand immigration and for the economy. Because the reason why we have such a low fee for PhDs is we want you guys to come and study with us and contribute to our research.
Agreed. And the PhD, the good point is that you get 6 points towards your residence pathway, which is what you require towards your residence pathway. Again, we will share the link of the immigration also on that. So I think Monica's question answer going to Vishnu, what should I do to work in New Zealand after MBA in India? Now, Vishnu, again, we need to see the profile. There are opportunities and options. Getting a direct work right, you need a sponsorship from the employer, which is again a further pathways. But again, if you are looking for your studying a second master's, like what Professor Naseem said, or Dr. Naseem said, it is that there are options for second masters also. But again, it'll be case to case. So we'll be recommend to you to send your details on the email ID what been referred in the chat box. Going to Sitanya Joy. Hello, good morning, sir. Good morning. I completed my post-graduation in human resource management. Is there any availability of courses to pursue my career in New Zealand? Currently working as an accountant at a construction company. I'm 25 years now. Now, I know there are options available at Massey Business School, but again, Mike, you want to add onto it? Or I'm happy to answer.
It depends on what your goal is. If you're thinking about coming and relocating to New Zealand, if you have an MBA already, then one option that we've kind of discussed is PhD, if that's something that's interested to you.
Yeah.
As Bharat said, that it's quite good in terms of the points you would get in your residency application. Another option is actually to do another master's degree. Then you can be like Professor Naseem and have two. And then he won't feel so lonely only being the only
But
person with two.
Mike, hang on, Mike. You didn't say that because in the past life, this particular person didn't see the light. They did it in MBA and all that. You know, if they do it in construction.
I was getting there.
That's realist, okay?
Yeah,
So
agree.
I will talk about MBA actually because, and it's, don't worry, bear with me. Everybody focuses on MBA because everybody knows MBA, right? But you don't want to be one of many MBAs looking for a job. Master of Construction is our most popular qualification for international students, and that is for a good reason. It is a fantastically interesting program that we are one of the best universities in the world with. It is very employable. Demand is incredibly high for our graduates. The salaries are probably better than you're going to get with an MBA. And in terms of relocation opportunities, I mean, you can't say anything in life is guaranteed, but Master of Construction is a very good chance you're going to be able to apply for residency in New Zealand. So there's a reason why it's so popular for international students. MBA is fine, but construction is the way to go.
A very simple addition to that will be, guys, you can always do double masters or different masters so that you can have multiple way of working here. You have multiple options, multiple opportunities. So we'll go to Vinita. In lieu of the time, I'll go to Vinita to answer the question. I complete my post-graduation in social work. Can you suggest courses for further programs? So Vinita, there are options. Again, there are Master of Social Work offered by Massey University. Again, depend upon you what you have done. So we need to still see your CV and details. Again, I will be not be enticed to answer all the questions just straightforward here. It'll be great to see your credentials and details, and our team will reply back to you soon. Meenu, you have done bachelor. You want to do bachelor nursing? Meenu, there are options of bachelor nursing at Massey, but again, the age factor is there. We need to see what you have done in last 10 years because you're going from high school to bachelor nursing. But there are Masters of Nursing program also, which is a practice nursing for 2 years, which can lead to registration. Again, University of Waikato or AUT, but again, there are options there too. Anonymous attendee, can we do part-time work on campus? Now again, so remember, guys, when you compare the part-time work, New Zealand allows you to work part-time anywhere. It's not like Canada, you have to work in campus only. So you could work anywhere in New Zealand if you can manage to go to your class every day. And what you can do is you can do your assignments, but you're allowed to work part-time outside campus also. On campus, I don't see a lot of job options are there. Or do you, Professor Naseem?
Yeah, Bharat, I need to interject here. Some work part-time. Look, the Master of Construction and even the Bachelor of Construction in the 3rd year, the lectures are not every day. It's block course. Can I explain what block course means? Take the Masters, for instance. For each course, okay, you only have lectures 9 to 5 over 4 days. only 4 days for the whole semester for each course. The rest of the time, you can be working or you can, of course, there's online interactions and so on. So bear that in mind. So because it's delivered in block modes, not every day you have lectures, for 2 hours or whatever. So that's a huge advantage. On the bachelor's one, in the final year, all the lectures are delivered in block courses, 9 to 5, 9 to 5, 2 days in March, for instance, and 2 days in April or May. So that gives you an opportunity to work part-time, on campus, off campus, wherever it is. But off campus is better. You get paid.
You get more experience, actually.
Minimum wage, $22.
Yes,
I was going to jump in with the minimum wage stuff. $22.70 minimum wage, but because of that high employment rate in New Zealand, it's not unusual to find kind of minimum wage jobs that pay $24, $25 an hour in the supermarket. So take advantage of that for New Zealand. Take advantage of our our staff shortages.
I think when Mike has opened this topic of money, see, guys, there's a good return of investment. What I always say that, guys, you have to pay the bills while you're studying. So the part-time work allows you to do a good enough money to pay your bills. But again, when you work for 3 years, you earn sufficient, which we can cover your cost, what you spent on study. So, and Mike said this investment on study is kind of, you have to plan the way. Don't just go into it and sign off for work. Going around, I've been Thomas. I've completed diploma in mechanical engineering and I have 19 experience in oil and gas field in mechanical supervisor. Can I do a course any related to mechanical engineering? Now, there are options. Again, there can be graduate entry, but depend upon your experience and faculty acceptance. I believe Massey don't offer courses in mechanical, if I'm correct.
No.
Yeah. So you might have to go to either AUT or University of Auckland or
So you can go to AUT or University of Auckland or maybe even
Waikato. Yeah, Canterbury and Waikato. Yeah.
Hey, but if you want to go onto the green list, consider the must.
I think I will say, Professor Naseem, mechanical is in green list also, if I'm not wrong. But again,
is it? It's not safe like construction.
Yeah, I think I have Professor Naseem here, so I can do everything is safe in the hands of Professor Naseem. So, Meena, is there the age criteria? See, Meena, there's no age criteria of studying. One thing remember. Now, for residence pathway, you need to be below 55 to apply residency. We have recently launched a visa for a person with a 50, 51. So there is no age criteria for study. And for the gap,
can I also share that my older student, when she did her master's, she was 84, Margaret. She's not an international student, she's domestic. Now she's doing her PhD. She is 86, turning 87 next month.
And I've seen the photographs on your LinkedIn, because this is something which is a very different, and somebody's geared up to do PhD at age of 86. So going to Rocky, what are the difference between construction manager and a contract manager? So Professor Naseem, director job.
That's definitely one for you.
You only.
That's certainly up my street. Okay, the construction manager looks after a whole construction project in all aspects of it, right? Managing the whole project. The contract manager is focused on the contracts element of it. So construction manager is wider. Contract manager is specifically on the contract, dealing with the contracts. And my passion is in contract management. But hey, do either. Yeah.
But you get the money in the both sides. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Going down to Jyoti Krishnan, I've got admitted in university. Will it be possible to take 15-year-old daughter, has completed 10th grade in India as my dependent? What will be the next level of education and she'll be pursuing it? So Jyoti, yes, we great you joined and you've been admitted. Yes, your daughter can come as a dependent, but we need to make sure that your others, like your spouse is traveling, who will look after your daughter. That is one thing we should play, but though she's above 14 years of age, we just need to carefully see that how it will be managed while you're studying and she's also studying. Now, she can enter into NCA level 1, level 2, or level 1 after coming from India or 10th grade in India. At least for 2 to 3 years, she will be studying as a domestic student. But do remember, till the time you are studying, after finishing her NCA level 3, she need to either go for a tertiary study, which will be an international student fees if you're not a resident by that time. So Jyoti, just need to see that. It'll be great to discuss the case in more detail. Please email us. We'll be happy to update that. But yes, for sure, you can take your daughter. We still need to see that who else is coming with you.
But I was just thinking, if Jyoti comes and does a master's over a year, then obviously by the time the daughter goes to university, they'll already be residents, right?
They might need to get a job and they apply for their residence pathway. Okay. We need a job in any case to get towards the residence pathway. And again, like I said, in a safer hand, it is a 1 year course. 1 year you need as a skilled work area at a median wage, which is effectively around $30 per hour. If you get a job and employer sponsors, you should get, or you may work towards residency. Now it'll be neck to neck. I just want to make sure that we manage the expectation here. So it'll be good to talk and then go forward.
Can I jump
ahead,
in very briefly and just say, I'm sure everybody on this webinar is a very intelligent, educated person, and they can probably manage the application for Massey University by themselves with a bit of work. The bit that is vital is the visa side of things. And having actually done it myself, I applied for skilled immigration to New Zealand myself. I trained as a lawyer. It was hard.
Thank you, Mike, for adding to that.
This is what they do. This is their whole thing. They do the work for you. And then you don't have to worry about that side of things. And the success rate for international student visa applications is significantly higher when they're coming through agents.
Yes. So I think, Mike, to add on this, for student visa, there is no charge from RBS team, just to give you a heads up for student visas. But yes, we have a licensed advisor for the dependent and other category, and there will be a minimal charge for that. But for student visa, RBS team don't charge any single.
Really? But I thought you would be charging $10,000 or something, no?
Thank you, Doctor. I will be very happy. I will be happy, Dr. Naseem, but yeah, that is not something we are supporting this process, and again, we are supported by university on those things. Going down to Neeraj's brief, I think I don't know if I missed or something. A lot of answers are going live.
Requirement for PhD in construction. What's the requirement?
Yes.
Oh, the answer is, if you've got a master's degree where you have done some research within your master's, basically that's it, really. So you can do a PhD here.
So, and again, GS, your PhD cost, if you ask, it's between say $8,000 to $10,000. But then, yes, it'll be great to just send your profile so that we know that are you eligible for PhD or not. Because, guys, PhD eligibility has to be met properly, just to make sure that we need to see the details. I'm planning to study Masters of Education in New Zealand. I was a teacher in India. There are short job openings in New Zealand. So, TD, again, nobody guarantee a job, but then I can tell you it's, again, a green list. But remember that Masters of Education, depend upon the course, what you're doing, doesn't every time lead to a teaching registration. So please check if you've applied through us or somebody else. I don't know your name detail. Every Master of Education may not lead you to teaching registration. So there are jobs, it's a skill shortage area. It's the same area like what construction is the green list area, but you need to see the right qualification, which is approved by Teaching Council of New Zealand. So please send your CV or details if you applied through us. I believe we normally clear this question when you're going for Master of Education. So Master of Education.
Can I add something to that? I used to sit on the Rangitoto College Board of Trustees for 6 years. It's the largest high school with 3,000 kids. And we were always short of teachers, especially in maths, in physics, and we cannot get teachers. Okay, so if you've got qualifications that allows you to be a teacher in New Zealand, please, there's plenty of jobs. Especially teaching maths and physics. I know people from India, they love maths. So yeah.
Agree. So TD, the only thing is that Masters of Education, do check the course, because every Masters of Education is not eligible for a teaching registration. So I'll be we have seen this every day coming, this question. There are some qualifications only which are available or approved by Teaching Council.
If you're thinking about doing masters in order to get teaching registration, you can actually do a graduate diploma instead. So Massey offers graduate diploma in learning and teaching, 1 year study, graduate diploma, register as a teacher afterwards. Much easier than doing a master's, but it is cool to have a master's.
I agree, but again, you get again the cost and the difference. So again, TD, this is a specific question. We are doing a teaching webinar soon, so we'll be coming back to you. But please email us. I think this year we have already addressed around 11 teachers who have been moved to New Zealand through us. So
can we just say as well, these are like fantastic questions, everybody.
Agreed. Thank you very much, Mike. Vishnu, my wife completed BDS in India. She would like to know about opportunities in New Zealand. So again, Vishnu.
Is that Bachelor of Dental Surgery?
Dental Surgery, yeah. So yeah, it's a BDS Dental Surgery. So I think we have a limited option, either University of Otago or University of Auckland. But made
No, Auckland. Auckland doesn't do dental, only Otago.
Yeah, Auckland, but then they have dental technicians options available.
Oh,
it's just guys, the entry requirements are high and the seats are limited. So there are alternative options which you can come through, because you can get yourself registered as a dentist. It is a process of 18 months to 2 years. Again, I can't go in detail on this, but it'll be great to touch base with us. We're happy. We have got or supported 2 dentists from India lately. This is last intake. We'll update you on that. So Monica, is double masters acceptable by university? Yeah, why not? I don't see a problem in double masters. Go for a PhD or go for third masters. I think you can beat Dr. Naseem
I believe
to have a third masters.
one of our colleagues in the business school has 2 doctorates, I think.
Yeah, here you go.
Ooh.
I know him very well, so I
Yep.
can tell you that. So we've got engineer Arjun. I think this is the year, which is engineer Arjun. It's a good morning in Nepal. I'm currently working as a municipal engineer for 5 years in Nepal. I passed my BTech in civil engineering from Rajasthan Technical University, which is India. Now I wish to go to masters in my own field. How can I get through this? So again, Arjun, you are able to apply to multiple options. Again, like you have given your email ID. Please email us with your CV and details, and my Nepal office will connect with you. Now, giving a bit of what you call a marketing spiel is that RBS have around 11 offices across India, Nepal, and Sri Lanka. We have offices in Singapore. We are opening in Malaysia, and we have in Turkey too. So we are happy to help you out to expand, support. This year, we have already enrolled students from 9 different countries. So we will be support to add you more options. Now, Joseph says there is any restriction to part-time jobs in New Zealand. So Joseph, you can only work 20 hours part-time while you're studying. While you're in a term break or while you're on a Christmas break, you can work full-time. So there are limitations or restrictions of part-time jobs in terms of time. You can work part-time in any area, depends.
So that's 20 hours per week, right?
Per week. So technically you work around, if I'm correct, it'll be 80 hours, around 720 hours in a year, plus 72, around 720 hours in your full-time 3 months time zone. So around 1440 hours.
I've got a calculator. So 20 hours times, the minimum wage is
$22.70.
That's $474 a week.
So I'll give you the numbers. I'll give you the number, Professor Naseem. It'll be around $14,000 to $15,000. It is for 1440 hours in a year, including part-time and full-time. So you make a decent money to pay your bills in New Zealand. Just remember what you're saying. So I love this, and I think pretty great counseling and support. And I think, guys, this is what you have to see. The faculty is actually a kind of a mentor, support, or person who can guide you a lot. And I always say that we can give you entry to New Zealand, but a good university, good institution, good faculty will give you that 1 to 40 years of line, what direction to follow, how to go in. And I trust Massey University's faculty. And again, I know Professor Naseem is a good family friend too, but it's lovely to see that there's a lot of background.
But Bharat Ji, I thought I'm the quantity surveyor, but you can do the numbers better than I can.
Well, just don't ask me to do the numbers. Do you guys mind if I tackle the question about the fashion industry?
Sure, go for it. Go for it, Mike.
We haven't discussed that today because it's not the focus of the webinar. But Massey is home to the College of Creative Arts in Wellington, which has the oldest and most prestigious design school in New Zealand, over 100 years old. If you are thinking about getting into the fashion industry, there are other options. You can go and do a diploma. We have a couple of colleges that do that. Honestly, you are likely not to get a job after that. If you want to go into the industry and get a job, you need to be looking at doing a bachelor's or a master's. Our Master of Design, our Bachelor of Design are 2 of the highest ranked in the world, definitely the highest ranked in New Zealand. Our graduates go on and do fashion design in film, art, everything you could see in Paris or Milan. The difference is you're not battling thousands of other students in Paris or Milan. So I would strongly recommend talk to RBS Intellect and have a look at doing bachelor's honors or masters in design in College of Creative Arts.
I didn't know that. I thought I had to buy jackets from elsewhere. Maybe some of them.
You just pop down to Wellington and ask the students if they'll make you one.
Oh,
agreed.
Right.
It's a designed in New Zealand, and production happens everywhere else. So guys, there is like Mike said, the competition is pretty low because not everybody comes because they think that Europe is good. But I can tell you, a lot of work is done in Wellington, which is wonderful. And like I said,
if you've seen the latest Avatar movie or any of the Marvel movies, all of the special effects for those films were all done in Wellington because New Zealand is a home for this kind of stuff. The problem with New Zealand, I say this because I'm originally from the UK. I'm a New Zealander now. I have a passport. New Zealanders are terrible about talking about what they're good at. And that's why
Agreed.
they've got me and Professor Nassim to talk about what New Zealand is good for. Because if you leave it to the native-born New Zealanders, they won't say.
I think they're good people, but I think we can say that we don't brag.
No, definitely not.
So, guys, can we bring siblings as dependent? See, no, siblings can't be dependents. You have to, again, anything above 18 years old, they are not immediate relationship. They are not dependents. Dependents are family members, husband, wife, and kids. Simple as that. Neither parents, neither siblings are dependents. Now, again, they come first.
Sorry. But sorry, what happened was, as you were talking, I was responding to a question. Are there quantity surveying job opportunities? I already typed in. Look at seek.co.nz.
A lot
of jobs. So, but that's already been answered. So it's gone, it's disappeared from the list. But quantity surveying jobs, plenty. Seek.co.nz, seek.co.nz.
So, good. I think, Meena, you have put a very small question called backlogs, and I understand the question that if there are backlogs in your education, are you accepted? Now, this depends upon, again, faculty to faculty. We'll always say that please share your details. Your experience will matter also. Backlogs, you should not be failed. You delayed in completing your examination, you understand that. Now, again, Master of Social Work, that question from Anonymous, please go to Massey University website or email us. Again, ranges between $40,000 to $50,000, depend upon which qualification you're going in. I will be not giving particular numbers because fees are changing for 2024. So there are, again, good around $50,000 is it to give it said. Please share PPD to VIC at GSA. Again, Meena, we recommend please email us. We will support you guys. No problem on that. Now, Samir, one of our students, have done a master's in physics, chemistry, and maths, and are working as a lecturer in Nepal. What will be the best pathway for them to apply in New Zealand, either PhD or graduate diploma or in teaching? I believe, Samir, you're not asking about yourself because I know the name and recognize.
Mike, isn't this right for someone to get a job in teaching? Because we're desperate for teachers in maths, physics, and so on.
Honestly,
So what do they have to do?
They are crying out for teachers with that particular skill set. I will put a link in the reply to you for our graduate diploma in learning and teaching, which if you complete that, you can get registration as a teacher in New Zealand. And the reason why we're short of teachers is because other countries keep stealing them because they're so good. One of my friends actually has recently just gone to United Arab Emirates because he trained as a teacher in New Zealand and they stole him because our teachers and our teacher training at Massey is some of the best in the world.
I agree. And yes, and again, guys, you let me know, there've been a lot of queries like, say, construction is in demand, teaching is in demand, and I can assure you there are opportunities there, and there's a lot of options. Now, I know it's the last question, guys, and I can tell you that we are just like 10 to 15 short of the questions of our attendees today, which is not bad, which is good to see. So, Jijo, good morning, panelists. I've completed BE Civil Engineering in 2018. More than 5 years of work experience in real estate-based construction industry. For the skill set of computer-based software, AutoCAD, IBM, Primavera, which can be acquired in my home country, which is helpful in finding a job and completion course. So,
okay, I'll respond to that.
Over to you.
I'll respond to that. Okay. Right. This is a real life situation, right? Ayush, who is from Nepal, he landed in Auckland on a Saturday. Monday was a public holiday. Tuesday, he went for an interview and he started work the following week, Monday, as a planning scheduling person. So when I saw that Primavera, whoa, BIM, whoa, AutoCAD, whoa, these are the kind of people that, will be getting a job very fast. So please come. You're most welcome. We do need people specialized in all these areas. Yep. Wonderful.
Great, Jijo. And then last is Joseph. Joseph, if you work more than 20 hours, you may end up getting issues with your further visas, and it can lead to a deportation also. So we are very clear, guys, whatever time is suggested on your visa, follow that. Don't go for a short-term earning. My always suggestion is to work harder for first 2 years. You can sort your next 40 years better. If you do make any problems in your first 2 years or 3 years in bachelor's, you can lead to trouble for yourself. So we suggest not to go anything wrong while you're, and again, so consequences are not good for you. Simple as that.
You can work those hours minimum wage job while you're studying, or you can concentrate on your study for Master of Construction. In a few years' time, you'll be on 6-figure salaries. I'm not exaggerating about the salary. 6 figures is not.
I 100% agree with you. Yeah. So Mike, that's what I agree. So guys, again, that is good question. We have actually answered all the questions. Any particular thing, guys, you're welcome to ask. But again, simple suggestion, please talk to some of the advisors or discussions. Again, RBS is one of the agency. We are there. Myself, again, I've been in industry for a long time. We have done 16,000 students in my career. But we'll suggest that please follow a right advice. Don't just skip and go to anywhere, anything. I know it is something, it looks, what do you call it, easy to lodge the visas, but again, always having a second opinion, why not? We always say that please take and right advice. Don't just rush up the things. And again, deciding right course, right institution, it will help for a long time. Any suggestions or any questions or anything from anyone? Last, say 5 seconds or 10 seconds from all the panelists before we close the session. And it's a pretty good session today.
Mike, you go ahead first.
Oh, I will just say thank you to everybody for listening to us all talk about Massey for an hour. Thank you to RBS Intellect for hosting us. Thank you, Professor Naseem, for your exceptional knowledge and fabulous sense of humor. Professor Naseem is obviously special, but all of the faculty in the School of Built Environment have his same passion, enthusiasm, and his same relationship with the students. And that's why I love working with these guys so much. It's an honor working with them. I'll just add a final thing. New Zealand is a fantastic place. I strongly recommend studying here, but I strongly recommend using an agent like these guys to make that whole process as stress-free as it can be for you. But thank you, everybody.
And on my side, Bharat, I would say, I think well done, Bharat. 91 questions that you managed to get in 1 hour and 5 minutes. That's
a record.
Amazing. So that's what you call leadership, management. You know, you've managed Mike and me. You know, Mike and me, you know, we can, Mike's a lawyer, I'm a lecturer. We can go on and on and on, but you've managed as well. But what I would say is 3 things. I mentioned about TLCM, right? Tender loving care at Massey. That's a technical area. And the other thing I would say is this. Sometimes people say, why do you come to Massey or whatever? Look at the programs in terms of 3 Ps, just to summarize. Look at the program, what it is that you want to learn and in what way it's brilliant, the contents of the program. The second thing is the people behind it, who are lecturers, as Mike and Bart, indicated. You should have had Reno here, who is Italian, and he speaks like an Italian, and he can go on and on forever.
We'd be going over by an hour if you and Reno are both in the webinar.
So that's the people. So the program, the contents, the people. And the third thing is the pastoral care. Someone who cares for you and not just about, oh yeah, come, get the money and move on. No, looking after you to make sure that you're well placed and you get a job and you move on. I've got students who are still in touch with me from many, many years ago. So, and LinkedIn, I've got more than 15,000 friends. Facebook, only 4. I'm not into Facebook, including my mother-in-law. That's all. But I'm LinkedIn, no problem. I have 15,000 friends. So
I think wonderfully said. I think, see, guys, what Dr. Naseem said, finding a right people to support you in the career is a very difficult task. And again, if you get it right, I can tell you, and I have gone through this. You need to have good people with you. 80% of jobs in New Zealand are not even advertised; they are reference, and the good references will work for you for long term. I think Shiraz will let you speak. I know you've been working in the background, supporting a lot. Shiraz, you are welcome to speak a few seconds or few 30 seconds if you're. Over to you, and we'll close the webinar on time.
It's been very interesting, actually. It's my first webinar where I've been a panelist and I'm like answering questions, and also interesting questions. Yes, a lot of questions which were technical and was beautifully answered by both the people from Massey University. Amazing. It's been really good. Thank you.
Thank you, Shiraz, and thank you for your work. Guys, thank you very much. It's appreciated. And again, thank you, Mike and Dr. Naseem. I believe thank you, Dr. Ruggiero, who didn't join, but again, Mia in the back end. We have wonderful support with the Massey team. And thank you, everyone, guys. You have been there for a very long, good time, and which is appreciated. Look forward to getting your queries. Please email us. We are hosting more webinars. There'll be multiple webinars coming in coming weeks and months, but look forward to getting your queries. Thank you again. Have a wonderful evening. Have a wonderful day, and have a lovely, safe holidays coming down. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.